Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Married to Medicine. Was this season 4 or season 5? Jesus, what season is it? Season 5. Can we believe it? Episode 5. Guess who's coming to Nola? Spoiler, it's Mariah. Like, we were surprised that, oh my gosh, Mariah's back on the show. Of course she's back on the show. You really think Mariah was going to go and give this up? Mariah feels like this is hers. So why, if something is yours, why would you let someone else take it? No. But before we get to all of that, we have the nice pleasantries. The episode starts off with, the St. Michael room. And there we have, who is it? Contessa, Dr. Heavenly, and Quad. Yeah, and it's funny because Contessa is doing her charting, and Dr. Heavenly's over there like, oh, what is she doing over there? I'm thinking she's working. Job's never done type of thing. We know that this is going to be a weird episode because I shouldn't say no one. A lot of them, they don't truly like each other, so then they kind of bring up the fact that it's interesting how Dr. Simone was able to go and have it so that she was in a room with Dr. Jackie and Toya, and they all had to share a room together. And they get it. It's a bonding experience. They're supposed to become chummy, buddy. And right now, it looks like all is well. All is technically forgiven. Then we get to the Lucifer room. The Lucifer room has Toya. And apparently Toya said Dr. Simone, Dr. Heavenly had to check Toya a little bit. And because Toya was doing a little bit too much when it came to Quad, and Quad didn't want to talk about, how many times she has sex with her husband. We know that Quad's going through some stuff. Quad doesn't really let know to most, and especially at Toya, since they always have an up and down type of relationship. And so they're just telling her that, even though your intentions aren't bad, your timing is. Your timing is terrible. You want things done on your time. You want people to go and spill their truths on your time instead of on their time. So what about this? What about for this entire day, you go and just be a little bit more considerate? So I said, 24 hours, okay. So then we get on the bus. Dr. Simone's going to take them to a swamp. They don't know it. She says, I can't tell these bougie women that I'm taking them to a swamp. Toya is already pre-gaming because Toya had a feeling she needs a little bit of the spirits for what's going to happen today. So she's pre-gaming. She's drinking her drink. Everything seems to be going well. And, it's all smiles. Dr. Contessa and Heavenly, they're technically good. Well, they were for 2.5 seconds. Contessa says that this group is rough. Heavenly is tough and rough around the edges. But you know what? Everything seems okay. Listen to this. E-O-N-E Tessa. So that was part of the issue. The part of the issue was, and I'm glad they finally said something, because Dr. Heavenly purposely calls this woman Contessa, as if she's saying Contessa. And See, it's so easy. Contessa is trying to say, no, that's not my name. Dr. Heavenly's like, why am I going to call her Contessa? That's not beautiful. That's not attractive. So then Contessa says, well, I can't help it if, I don't know what type of maybe like disability someone may have for that. I said, disability. I was like, speech, I'm sorry, was that the wrong word? Speech impediment? Dr. Jackie she's smiling with her eyes. When Tyra Banks says, smile with your eyes. Dr. Jackie was smiling with her eyes when Contessa said that. Quad was over it. Quad was in a little mood. I guess because she had to share a room with them, so maybe that's what it was. But then they see the sign that, wait a minute. You're taking us to a swamp? Yes. So once they're leaving out of the party bus, Toya flops. She flops. She falls right on her butt. She's like, thank God the butt saved her. And she appreciated that no one laughed. Mind you, everyone in the confessionals is cackling. It's just like, I'm so glad. I'm just so happy you guys didn't laugh at me. Dr. Emily said, oh, I did after I realized you were good. I said, that's real. That's real. So now they're there. Surprisingly, Dr. Jackie was the most irked and irritated about being there. Dr. Headley talked about how Dr. Simone's always striking out with taking us on these boats. I don't know why, she just doesn't get it. So they see some, wildlife. Dr. Jackie, I thought maybe she was, what do you call it? I thought maybe she had motion sickness, but it wasn't even that. She was just like, she's out of her element. She's uncomfortable with the surroundings. It's dirty. It's nature. It's not sanitized. So she's bugging out. Dr. Simone says, can you at least do something for 5 seconds that doesn't involve you having control? I said, well, that's a good question. Can you? So now they're looking. They're seeing that the gators are out there. And they're feeding them hot dogs. The first gator bit. The second one, not so much. And so then now they had to go and do a pig call. I said, if they start doing suey, so then here goes Dr. Simone taking it upon herself to go and do the call herself, like, yo, Michael, yo, the birds! Her voice is so loud. I thought she said she'd stop yelling. She scared off all them birds. All those birds. Toya is freaking out because now their boat ride's almost over and she invited Mariah. So Mariah is there. She's checking into the hotel. And Mariah is just like, well, I know these ladies were not on the best of terms, but figure why don't we just go and see how everything shakes up. So now it's pretty much over. Oh, before I forget, Dr. Jackie was on a roll. She was like, look at Toy, look at the back of her leg. That is cellulite. And Dr. Simone's like, no, you got cellulite? I have eyes, that's cellulite. And then they said something about, Toy was like, you know what, I ate pig today, so maybe that's why the pigs aren't trying to come around me. And Dr. Jackie said, oh, I know. I said, oh, no. See, that's that passive-aggressive stuff. Now, that's the one thing, though. That passive-aggressive stuff. And I guess because the people that she does it to, they know that they wronged her, so they don't say anything. But sometimes I wish they're just like, Jackie, you can go and say that I should have stopped while I was saying da-da-da-da, instead of just being nice about it. You can tell me what you said was trash. Don't say that ever again to me. You can. If that's your real friend, your friend has that type of, then you need to be able to go and say it like that to them, because then this whole thing of, and doing this nitpicking to kind of get back at them, you're using truth, so I have no problems. I mean, look at how the cameras purposely place themselves at a certain level to catch, when they were looking at the gators and stomachs were being shown, or stomach was being shown. I said, shady camera people, shady camera people. So now, Mariah, she's thinking about all the crazy times that she's had with these women, and she was just really shocked that it was, again, Toya that brought them two together. Because remember, Toya and Mariah actually had a physical altercation on screen. Mariah's mother had to get involved. Anyway.
Big, huge smile, honey. Nobody can get mad at a smile.
So yeah, again, Toy is still kind of like, oh Lord, we're almost there. So they get there, and Mariah was in the Lucifer room. So of course, Dr. Heavenly and her group didn't see Mariah. First it was Toy, like, ah! Then Mariah was like, Simone! Simone was like, hey! Simone did not give Mariah a hug. She was like, hey! Hey! Dr. Jackie was just looking at her like, so we're going to do this today? Okay. All right. So what? And so we find out that, because Dr. Simone said, I'm smart. I have multiple degrees. Toya, why don't you seem surprised to see her? Yes, well, I invited her because I felt like this was a girls' trip, and this girls' trip was about unity. So how could we not? And we had good times with her, so I felt like it would be inauthentic. for us to go and do this whole kumbaya session without her. I'm thinking this isn't the time. So back in the Michael room, no one was acting saintly. We had Dr. Heavenly going and talking to Quad again. And again, Quad's in the funk because of what's going on with her and her marriage. Dr. Heavenly feels like it's Quad's fault. Now, let's just call it what it is. Dr. Heavenly feels like it's Quad's fault for nitpicking on small things, and instead of appreciating the man that she has, because she's just like, the men out there nowadays are trash. Dating would be trash, and you're trying to go and potentially rock the boat in a good thing when, let's be real, maybe being with him allowed you to be where you are today. And here's my thing. We know that they worked hard together, but monetarily, what he did popped. I'm sure it popped off not only sooner, but brought in more money. So let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. I think Quad doesn't like that. It's just a fact, and we need to stop skirting around it, because I know it's being used as a ploy to say, well, I do for you, so why are you acting up? But we still have to at least acknowledge that. And we know Dr. Heavenly goes left, though. So Dr. Heavenly was really trying to say, you haven't given this man a baby. Maybe your issues are because you haven't done that. We know that's part of the issue. Let's stop. But we know that that's definitely part of the issue. But then Contessa is looking at her like, so why would you go and do that to another one? Why would you go and bring up, essentially, like, do you know she can have children naturally? Do you know if she... Dr. Contessa's over it. She's over Heavenly. So she just urged that, why are you saying these things to people? Okay, if it's true, you're trying to express yourself and be truthful. Great. But why do you have to do it in the manner that you do it? And I find it amazing how Dr. Heavenly's daddy, aka her husband, in the confessions, he said, you know what? Dr. Heavenly is very blunt when she first meets people, but sometimes it takes people a while to understand that her truth is maybe there to help them out. I said, you know what? That's a good man. That is a good man. Dr. Heavenly, with his general temperament of just like, Dr. Heavenly, I'm telling you right now, don't you dare go and do anything to purposely run that man off, because you need someone with that personality type to balance you out. So that's what I'm going to say on that. Now we take Mariah to the Michael room where Contessa is arguing with Dr. Heavenly, and I'm fine with Contessa arguing with her because I appreciate the fact that someone is just... Dr. Heavenly is at the point where she's just kind of saying stuff for the most part, and they're not fighting her anymore. Contessa's new, and she says, I'm not here for the BS. I know my purpose on this show, so I'm going to keep doing this until I'm tired of doing this. But then she goes and says, you know what, I'm done. I said, wait a minute, what? You just... So that's all you had in you? Contessa said, I'm not in the army. I'm not here to battle. I said, oh no, not the PTSD. No, is that what she's having at this moment? Like, no, I didn't do all that to just be stressed out being in a group of other women. No. So then everyone's trying to convince her, like, what's going on? Why are you trying to go? Why? Because your group's crazy. Your group's crazy, and you don't see it because you're caught up in it. Toya's just trying to say, come on, everyone, let's calm down for a moment. And Toya actually gets very upset. Toya's upset because she feels like she brought Mariah here. Why is everyone arguing now? What's really going on? But she's also upset, why is her friend freaking out? So then again, talk to Contessa. Contessa was generally trying to go. She wasn't playing around. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't for attention. She just doesn't do that type of drama. And I got that vibe from her. I appreciate that because most people wouldn't be able to just sustain that BS even for a check. But come on, look at the bigger prize. Look at the goal. Look at the goal. You get to go and talk smack to Dr. Heavenly each and every time you meet. You can do that. It's no problem. I mean, I would have fun after a while. Like, oh, you got a problem? Oh, it's good. If I don't like you, oh, it's easy. Oh, it's easy. So now the men, they're there, they're socializing, having a nice time. Like um, doing some talking. The ladies go and disperse a little bit further, and Contessa's just like, look, I don't like the way how she moves. I don't like the way how she talks. Dr. Heavenly has a talk with Dr. Jackie, and Heavenly's just like, I don't understand why this keeps happening. I don't understand like what her issue is, what the problem is. Dr. Jackie said, you purposely are, well, she didn't say this, but Dr. Jaggers is like, you know what? You know how your mouth is. You know how you come off. And you can't do that with everyone. Well, you shouldn't be, but you can't do that with everyone. So then Contessa comes in after the others talk to her. And they do like a mutual kumbaya. It's like, girl, it's not even that serious. We can have difference of opinions, and that's fine, but I really don't have any real malice towards you. And I never felt that. I never felt like she had malice towards Contessa, like real malice. I always felt like it was just petty. Petty. And petty can be fixed, petty can be rectified, as long as you cut petty in the butt soon. Soon, fast, and in a hurry. Mariah feels a certain way because Mariah's trying to figure out why isn't it that, aside from Toya, no one's really being open or receptive to her being there. And I'm thinking, Mariah, this is a two-way street. And yes, you did acknowledge, okay, I'm sorry, great. And now it is up to them to accept it and move on. They heard you, but they didn't believe it, so they didn't accept it, and they won't be moving on. And that's the real truth. And you shouldn't want to be around, this is for TV purposes, obviously, because in real life, you shouldn't want to be around people that even if you have history with, you can fall out, and that's it. It happens all of the time. And it's not right, but that's how it is. People change, priorities change, tolerance levels change, all of these changes. Dr. Simone just feels like, look, there's so much that's happened, she doesn't even feel like talking about it. She just kind of feels like it's fine if we close the door, lock away the key, and that's it. Mariah wants to talk. Mariah wants back in the group. That's what it really is. She wants back in the group. She misses them, and I just don't feel like any of them are at the mental space to go and really just be truthful with each other, accept what everyone's saying about each other, move on. Now, we see the guys talking. They're all talking about their kids and how everything is great. And then we get to Quad's husband. He's like, and he said in the confessional next to Quad that hearing the guys talk about their kids and having such pride, it made me really realize how much I was missing. And it's interesting when Quad is talking to Dr. Heavenly and saying that she doesn't feel appreciated. She doesn't. That's her main thing. She doesn't feel appreciated. And Dr. Heavenly is just saying that honestly, what your husband's doing is what she did to her husband, which we know. We saw that. We knew that. I 150% acknowledge that. Don't think that just because I defend Dr. Jackie on, she didn't deserve to be cheated on, doesn't mean that I'm saying that, oh, she was just saying Jackie and her relationship, and she was absolutely not. But she acknowledged that she wasn't. She gave him multiple outs, and he took one. It just wasn't the one that she thought. And now my mom even said this last week, and now it sounds like, I guess because she was still in the thick of things, like, oh, she's not sure if she really wants him to go, because that's that whole thing of, because Quad's talking like, you know what, at the end of the day, I can do bad all by myself, and Dr. Jackie's just trying to say, yeah, you could, but you need to fix what's there first before you go and just run. You need to go and acknowledge, because Quad's like, it's been in for 5 years, and it's just so hard. And Dr. Jackie said, I know what you're going through, because I know I put so-and-so through similar stuff. So you need to go and just have a real, honest, earnest conversation instead of doing what you're doing right now, which is just crying about it, which is just crying about it and expressing it is great, but you need to talk to that person, let them really know, and then just put the ball in their court. If they decide they're still going to do whatever they want, you have your answer. Obviously, I added to what Dr. Jackie said because I didn't remember the exact words. Everyone's getting ready, just trying to figure out really Mariah's here, and it just throws a real monkey wrench into the girls' trip. And so now they have this sit down, and they also told Toy needs to chill out. So now they have to sit down. They're eating. Everything's nice. Mariah finally comes in. Everyone's ignoring her except for Toya. And so then Mariah is starting to talk to, well, because Mariah and Claude, they've had a lot of, because she gave Claude a hug when she came in, which is really weird. I'm like, Mariah, this is the fake stuff I don't like. I get it. You're not really over it, but you're trying to go and just, you're like, oh, the past. Okay, let's move forward. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Mariah doesn't like the fact that no one else seemed to be willing to give her an olive branch when, again, the hurt went both ways. And half the group was just looking at her like, girl. The other half was just like, okay, this is cool, or whatever. But the main thing is Quad and Mariah. There's just so much bad blood. Remember, Mariah said that Quad was homeless. Quad said she was never homeless. Quad was in transition, but Quad said that she was never homeless. It's like, why would a friend say something like that? That's true. Quad says some stuff about Mariah. It's just one of those things where they're both pretty messed up as far as what they're saying to each other. I appreciate the fact that Toya was trying to mend a bridge and mend fences with them, but at the end of the day, if they have real issues, why are we trying to do this whole, oh, no, it's fine. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. It's all good. Cut it out. That's not how the real world works. The real world is you do something to someone, if they're upset about it, they have the right to be upset about it as long as they want to be upset about it. You can't get them to just go in your time of, okay, now it's just going to be over. Even though you did something to me, I forgive you, so you just need to forgive me too. That's not, no. So I'm glad next week they're going to have a real conversation. It looks like it's going to be Jackie and Mariah to at least start it off. Do I feel like it'll really make a dent and they'll have a good relationship? No. But I guess it's better for them to at least say that they tried. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back.